Hey everybody and welcome. Well, here you're going to be learning how to do a transparent header. As you see here, I had changed the color, so it's going to be switching around when I go into the tutorial video. But I did want to go over a psalm that goes in hand with what we're doing, and it really is really important to anyone building design because they focus a lot on how it would look, right? So it says, "Till when, O you sons of men, will you turn my esteem to shame? Would you love emptiness, seek vanity or falsehood? Selah." And this I'm reading from the Hallelujah scriptures. And the main points from this is people seek after vanities that won't benefit them, that won't benefit their neighbor. Yes, you get a fancy car. Yes, you have a fancy house, or you get a fancy this, and I'm guilty of it for some of these things. But guess what? Did it help me? It didn't. What happened? Well, I could have done something even better that could have helped me and others with what I had built, because we built a website that's basically a 3D website for our homepage. And in the end, we took it down, or rather we redesigned the whole thing because it took 6 to 8 seconds to even load. Was that helping anybody? No, it wasn't helping us especially, or anyone else who was in that in that homepage that we had created for ourselves. So I just wanted to go over that because it is important to look at how it's going to help others and not just how it's going to help you. So take that into account, that user friendliness is important. That's why many of the popular websites have a very simple design, so it can be quick, but you can still make it look good, so don't get me wrong. And let's go into the tutorial video. Welcome. In this video we'll be learning how to go to Figma, design a header from here. Rather, we're not going to design it from here. I'm just going to teach you what format we're using so we can bring it over to WebFlow, and in WebFlow we can build it from scratch. So right here, as you see, this is one of our design for one of our clients, and we see here, if you zoom in here in WebFlow, we created a rectangle, made it transparent, create some blur on the background, and made a call to action right there. That is some gradient here with a little bit of blur, not blur, shadow, and over here some buck shadow as well, with some text which has some tinted text. And here we have this logo, of course. So this is on a desktop container, which is 1120p. Well, sorry, it's 1120 pt, the length that is gonna have on the container in desktop. This is for tablet, and this is for phone. But other than that, we're not going to cover Figma today. Let's go to WebFlow. So here in WebFlow, the reason we want to build it first on Figma is because it's a lot easier to build there and use that as your measuring stick, basically, on how you want to design everything, how you want to add fonts, your margin, your padding. All of that is going to be transferred easily over to WebFlow so that you can use many responsive designs, where mainly, like here, we created various designs, but this is all the same now. But you can see that we can test out which one looks better here, which one's easier to implement there, which one has a consistency, and we can see already the consistency here without having to make each one of them different from what they are. Back to WebFlow. One of the things, of course, get WebFlow and sign in. You would just be getting a basic account if you need it. It is around I got the $23 plan. You can get whichever you'd like, depending on your business needs. But right now we are on an empty blank canvas. What we're gonna do now is we want to create a navbar first. So easy, WebFlow made it easy, but we're not gonna use the layouts. So if you wanna just use a layout from here, you're free to do so. They have heroes, they have teams, they have logos, which yeah, you can basically shift them around and so forth. So we're not going to use that right now. We're going to click on Z, so we see that it's empty. Of course, it's only the body. And we're going to click on A for elements. So you click on A, boom, and you're going to get, see, I already had button here. So, oh, it's a but, oh my dear. Yeah. So other than that, what we're going to do is we're going to type in navbar, nav, and here it is. You drag it in, and we have a navbar. It already has here. Let me go and define that. I should have. It says easy in, easy out. Easy in, easy out. It's gonna be shown until the tablet and below. So this is gonna be shown mainly on desktop. Anything else would be like a hamburger. So fit, yes, yes. Okay, get that out of the way. Z. Navbar, here we have the container. So in this container, it's gonna house all of the content in here, the nav links and the elements. So here we have brand, right? So in brand, we're gonna, where is it? Right here. This is the brand. We're gonna put the image here. So we're gonna click on A. We're gonna click on image. We're gonna drag it over here into the brand, bam. So now we have a little box here for the image. It's going to ask us to replace the image, and we're going to click on replace image. I already had mine downloaded here. You can go in and get the one you would like from your desktop, and you can choose the image you like. And from here, I would just click on this. It's automatically here. Once you have your image here, you can go in and make this smaller just by dragging this up through the corner, and you can see the dimensions there. And you're going to get to the 2 digits around there. Make it smaller, and there you go. Just eyeballing it for right now. It's not going to be that exact, but even I said that even though I'm going to use margins. So you can use margins, of course, to make it smaller or make it bigger, depending on where you want to move it to. Not smaller or bigger, where you want to maneuver it to. And there you go. At least we know now that these two look somewhat the same, right? Here we're going to just duplicate one of these because we're going to have 4. So we're going to click Command D for duplicate, Command D. Boom. There you go. We added a new one. We can leave that as home. We can put that as offer. And this one can be your about us. Oh, or about you. Can make it about them. Usually I don't like about us. So this one is going to be portfolio, and this all depends on what you're going to do. I would highly suggest you doing your own, your own text here, adding whatever you like. I don't like home, to be honest, because home is usually the logo. What you can do here is add, for example, if you're doing, I don't know, insurance, right? Coverage options. Let's add auto, right? Auto, home. Oh, come on. Commercial. I spelled that wrong, didn't I? Yes, I did. And we can do health. There we go, because I hate Medicare. And from here, right, we have added these, so we're gonna go and just see how it looks. There we go. We have the 4 nav links already attached. Each one of these has links. That's basically why they're called nav links. And when you go to settings, you can link it to a URL, a page section in the home page or wherever you want. But no, this is page section is here. Pages, whatever you want to link it to. So it's gonna be like a page for auto, home, or commercial, whatever. You can send an email or call, which I don't recommend, or just add like a downloaded file that they could download, which I don't recommend. Other than that, we're gonna click on A, and now we're gonna go and get the button. Come on, man. So A, gonna work with me now? Come on, WebFlow. What's the fight? And this, you're just gonna put it behind health. Boom. There we go. So it is on top. And we will play around with the button margin. So button is already, what is it called? Grabbed? Yeah, let's use that. So it's already grabbed. We're going to go to style. We do want to change the margin and lower it. and just eyeball it for now. See, there we go. Now it's in the middle. And from the button, we want to, because it's already in a container with a nav menu, so we can't really move it over without affecting the other nav links, which is, for example, let's give it like that. See, and you can't do that either because it's just going to move the text and not the button itself. So let's put that back, and we can use positioning. So in positioning, we're going to go to relative. Of course, you can use any of these other options, which is absolute or fixed, but we're just going to go with relative to itself. So it's going to be relative to its own button, basically. And because this button is not going to be on any other responsiveness, or maybe on tablet, I would highly recommend tablet. And these are going to be hamburger bars. We can go here to auto and then just move it to the side. There we go. Oh, silly me, we didn't even go in and create the roundness of the page. So here we're going to get container. And yeah, we're going to have to push it back afterwards. We grab this container right here. So this is what we're going to be changing. The navbar, we're going to add it to, we're going to go to backgrounds, and here it just says DDDD, which is basically a gray color. We're going to put it to transparent. Boom. There we go. So we're not able to see much because it's white. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go and place another we're going to place a section. So we're going to click on A, and we're going to go to section. Here it is. And we're just going to place it on the bottom. In this section, we're going to add a, we're going to just name this demo image section. Yeah, why not? And in this demo image section, we're going to add a div so we can contain an image inside of it. So we're going to go to A, click on A, go to image. And this image, we're going to drag it to section right there, or you can also drag it to the side. And this image is just there, it's chilling. So we forgot to add the div. I forgot to add the div. There we go. We're going to get the div and make it go here, Z, so we can see all of it. It's going to go there. This goes inside of the div, and now we have a image right here that we can edit. The reason we want this is to create the hero banner on, not the hero banner. Isn't the hero banner? Let's go with hero banner. So we're going to add the image here. So let's go with this one, just to keep it unique, I guess. So yeah, remove, and here we have the image already. So what we want to do is now we want to expand this image to 100%. There it is. It filled everything up. See? And what we're going to do is we're going to lift this up so it can be under the navbar. So in margin, we're going to put like -16. Oh, never mind. It's -62, right? Yep. -62, -67. And there you go. See? It covered basically the bottom of the navbar. So we're going to go back. Now at least we can see where we're at, and we can see that this is far. So we're going to go back to that button because it wasn't supposed to be there. But even then, we're going to leave it there for now. And we're going to go and, here it's transparent. So we're going to put it onto white. We're going to leave it a little white. There we go. And we're going to move the alpha, which is the transparent, to 40. You can always put this to a different color according to your brand. You can change it to red, light green, transparent blue, transparent pink, you name it. And for now, we're just doing the white. See, there we go. It's transparent. And this button is on the side. We did leave it a little bit far out there. Apologize on that. So we just go back to positioning. Where's your positioning at? There you are. And we're just gonna hold down and press and then just move it back. The ones that we're actually gonna be moving is the text. That text right here, we're gonna name him and put we're gonna put classes for each one of them. So what we wanna do is, since this is basically a demo, we're gonna put demo link nav links. Yeah. Be sure to name them something relevant to what you're doing. because it's going to be very needed. So you won't get confused and it's organized. You click on enter, there you go, it created the class for home. You copy this one, you basically Command C and then you Command V, sorry. Enter, Command V, and Command V. There you go. They all have the same class to it. So now here we're just going to go to the side and move it from the button and put it in the middle. There you go. So now it is far away from the button. The button is over here and this text is over here. So yeah, you can always change this, but this one we would actually need to add, I don't know why it didn't demo. It's all gonna demo. And so you're gonna see it here even then. Boom. And then it's gonna do it to all of them. There we go. All right, so we changed all of them. We can also use relative positioning and we can choose absolute or relative or fixed. And from there you can move it to the side. Oh, sorry, I don't know why I got this guy. We're gonna get the nav linkies here. I'm going to choose the negative side here. Alright, so then we can change the margin back to like 20. So let's leave it like this for now. You can adjust it how you want, and you can move the margin to make them more in the middle, more in the side. Depends on what you would want. You can have them spaced out or close together, and that looks good. So on the button, what we're going to do is we're going to change this button to be round. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to border here, and the button border is going to be, let's go with, because if you hire it all the way up, it's not going to be sufficient sometimes. So let's do 40. And stay the same, of course, because the button doesn't go any lower. The other ones you're able to change, but the button, well, you can just leave it at 20, and you can change it to more square if you would like. Depends on how you like it. I think that looks good right there in 16. So let's go with the background color. So right here we have a color and it's going to be blue, right? It's going to be what this is looking like. So we're going to go click on add image and gradients. So we're going to choose linear gradient, yes. And now we see that it's black and blue. We can also change the orientation to be, it's going to be this one, where is it? 40, 90? There we go. So you can change it to the side. Preferably, I like it how it was, but we can just choose 0 and it just reverses it. You can also reverse it here or change reverse the colors there. So it all depends on what you would like. So for now, I'm gonna go and click on the black one. The black one I actually want it to be a darker blue. So I'm gonna click on the color there and then click on pick a color. And then what I'm gonna do is go to the logo that I have here and then click right there with the little tool and press on it. And it changed to that color of blue. Close that and then go to the white one. Click on the white color, pick a color, and now you're gonna get the lighter blue, and bam, it looks just like the logo, right? We're not using the Figma design, but this is just to get like a kind of like a look through of what it's gonna be like. So we're gonna also go to the text. We want to change the text. This button looks weird. Let's just put CTA. Button, right? And on the text, we're going to change the fonts. So one of the fonts that I like to use is Railway. It looks really good. Inter, Playtime Fair, Display, and of course, Open Sans. Those are my favorites. Arial, maybe. And then I like to have it with a little semi-boldness here, like that, so it can pop. It is a little spaced out, but just bear with me, because you can always shorten it if you want, and then move it with positioning and put it wherever you want. So you see right here that it's still round here, and that's not what we want. So we click on the container 8, which is going to be this one, and it's going to grab all of this, or rather the container that's holding all of it, and we're going to go and round this. So we're going to go and round it. This one you can put more. There, see, there we go. It's going to be 100 for that one, and now it's completely round. And if you want to say, oh, you know, it's a little too not white, it's fine, leave it like that, because we're going to go down to one of my favorites. So it's backdrop filters. So in backdrop filters, my bad, you're going to go to blur, and it's automatically going to be choosing it many a time. So you just click on this and how much blur you want, and it's going to blur out whatever's there, right? And so you can also choose different things as well. So there's brightness if you want more brightness, if you want a shadow, contrast, you name it. You know, you can maneuver everything and choose whatever you want. There's so many ways to edit that. So yeah, I'm going to remove it. Just wanted to show you that. And excuse me, one of the things I want to do is with the container, right, with the whole navbar, rather, always be sure to save this as a component. Once you're going to use it for your whole site, you're basically going to, I actually use my mouse, so I just click 2. So you're going to right click this, and then you can create a component, and this is going to be created everywhere, so that you can just go in and place it wherever you want without having to create the footer from scratch. I want to save you the trouble of doing that, right? So yeah, let's go, and you can always name the stuff as well. So we're going to go to the navbar, which we selected already, and we're going to go to the styles, of course. And so now we're going to move the bar lower. So if we see here, if we want to move it lower, it moves the image with it, right? So we want to change that. But first, let's change this to flex. So once we change it to flex, it's going to show like this. So you can also choose auto, click here to just auto align everything. That should almost be the recommendation all the time, especially for navbars. And you are able to just move the padding if you need to, if you want to make it have it shrink a little bit or not, it's up to you. And we're gonna go now to positioning. Here in positioning, we're gonna change it to fixed. So now the image is going all the way to the top, and it's because it's not in static anymore, which just means that it's not allowed to move. It just stays where it is. But with fixed, you have more capabilities of the movement where you can choose to move it to. So this is going to be relative to itself. So whatever we change the container 8 to is going to also change the navbar. If you change that, then it's not going to go well. So here we're just going to go and click on top. So it's going to stick to the top, and we're just going to go and move this to the bottom. There we go. There you go. It changed it to the bottom. So now it's slightly onto the bottom, and that's what we wanted. Now what we want to do is we want to have more interaction within this, with this header. So, or navbar, right? I always call it header. Let's just call it header. So what we want to do now is we want to add a little bit more styling to this. So we click on container 8. It's going to select that container, and we're going to go to the shadows. It's going to be here in effects. So in box shadows, you're going to click on the plus sign, and it's already going to add some form of shadow on the bottom. You can choose whatever color you like from there. You can choose inside, or you can choose outside. I like to choose the outside when it's something like this, or inside whenever I want to add a glow. The glow is just epic. So here we're gonna move with the size. We're gonna increase it. So you're seeing how it increases here, and 4 looks good, and the Y you can change it to 0 because it's gonna of course go to the bottom. So it shows some depth, but it also reflects where it's gonna be at. So that's what I like. So here we're gonna add a little bit of tint. There we go, right here. And then we can increase this a little bit. There we go. So now we added that box shadow through the effects, and you can always choose to add or make more of what you would want. And so here on the text button, we want that to grow. So to make it grow, we're gonna go to interactions, and in interactions we're gonna go to the plus sign, and we're gonna do on mouse hover. So on mouse hover, you're gonna take away tablet, phone, landscape, and portrait, and you're gonna click on hover or hover out. So here you're gonna go start animation, and I've already had some here presets, but to create it from scratch we can do that. So we're gonna go here, so we're gonna name it demo hover in. Always name them, please. It's always good. So we're gonna add a plus action, and we're gonna go to scale. So in scale, we're gonna go to set as initial state. That's where we want it, and the initial state is just gonna be 1. And you're gonna add another one, which is another scale, and this one is gonna be 1.1. And since this is locked, it's gonna change the X and the Y. So enter. There you go. So it's gonna go from here to here, and preview. That's what it's gonna do, right? Awesome. So what we're gonna do is we can only change this one because this one's already in the initial state. So we're gonna go to button 4, go to, I like custom. So go to custom. You can always change it. I like this one because it symbolizes it's expensive, but not being in your face, popping out. It's slowly coming to you. That's always the safest bet. It's in nature as well, where something's quick, you're always on alert. If something is slow, they're like, okay, so what's going on, right? You're actually thinking, and it doesn't arouse an instinct in you to basically fight. So I'm gonna change this one a little bit more roundish. There we go. So this is custom ease out X, and this is how it's gonna look. Smooth. I love that. So you're gonna save this as demo hover in. For yours is gonna be whatever you're gonna name it. More likely name yours navbar button hover in. Save, and there you go. And now we're gonna go to the hover out, on hover out, right? When you're gonna hover out with your mouse, selected action, excuse me, start animation, and we're gonna also do another timed animation. So we're gonna add animation here, and we're gonna name this one demo. For yours is gonna be whatever you had named it, hover out. So you want to really define what these are, because if you have too many interactions in your website, you're gonna get so confused like I did one time. It's a no-no. So plus sign, and we're gonna start by adding the scale. And so now that we have button 4, we're gonna add everything. We're gonna zero everything out. We're gonna put 1.1 and 1.1 for the X and the Y. And in button 4, we're going to just make sure that this is in 0. Here, don't add any initial sets for these. You don't need to. And we're gonna do no delay, and we're gonna use custom, right? What I like to use in custom is the Cupid, this one, ease out Cupid. We do that, and we put it at 0.6 just to make it a little bit slower. And once we do that, this is gonna go back to the initial set of 1.1, like that. So once we do this, it's just gonna go down slowly. You can do it fast, slow, depending on what you would want. And then you can do the same thing for everything here. So the way you do that is you click on save. So now you're gonna click on this one right here, the class, and you're gonna put here, you can put button if you want, or you can change it to any element that you have already pre-selected. So now that we have the button, you can also focus on these as well, or just do the same thing that you did for this one, and add it to the logo, add it to the auto, home, commercial, and health. I should have put life there. And it will do just the exact same thing. So, here we see that we also have a tint here, which is relatively easy to do. You just click on these, you go to style, you go to typography, and color, you just make it a little lighter. And all of them are going to turn the same color because they are all in the same class. Close it. There it goes. It looks a little better like that. And then once you hover over these, I actually want to do the interaction for these real quick. So on hover, I actually want them to, let me see what I want them to do. Yeah, I'm gonna cancel these out first. And you can always switch this to class. So every class that has this is all gonna have them. So you can choose action, start animation, and from here you can choose the same thing. Demo hover in, demo hover out. You go into the hover out now, same thing, start animation, and you just choose whichever one you want. And we already preset those, so there you go. These move also, and that to me looks amazing. Another way of adding more effects to this is you go to style, and let us go to hover. And from hover, we're gonna go all the way down. And here you can choose transitions. You can choose if you want it to move or not to move. I actually would want it to have like in effects, I want to add like a square for each one of these so that you know that you basically are hovering over these. Just like how this one, it gets bigger when you're hovering over it, so you know that that's what you're going to click. From here, you're going to go to box shadow. And in box shadow, it's already highlighting it over here. So this is already going to increase in size. So what we want to do is we want to add a little bit more blur. And 2 is fine. We can keep that like that. This can be a little darker. And from here we go and set that to dark. And you click on none and set it back to normal. You play. And now all of them have that box shadow to them. You can change it as you like. They all have the same class. And let's go back. There you have it. So if you want to use also the image and use the image to basically make sure that the image here is a PNG, just because it needs to be transparent, you can transform it into WebP for this. If in the future, if you need to, I mean, JPEG is it's okay too, but as long as it doesn't, JPEG is not cool. I'm sorry. And this is basically what you would need. It's a PNG. And in the assets panel, just be sure to add the description for these and add what it is, and then from there, you can always switch this over in your assets panel, and you can always, transform this to what you want. There's a way of actually transforming this into WebP, which I'll go over in a bit. Alright, and just to go over some things, so here in the image, if you ever want to change and make this smaller to optimize your website, go to assets and you're gonna click on, mine is already expanded, but you go back and you go to assets, expand assets panel, and from here you will see various images, PNG, right? And you can click on compress, for example this one. And you see here that this is a very large size, right? It's 841.8. So let's compress that. And let's do WebP compress. And it's going to start compressing it, and it's done. If it's too small, it's not going to do it. If it's big, it will. So see that. Wow. Okay. So it went from what? 841.26 KB, I think, to now 29.6. Yeah, that is very optimized, and this is perfect for websites. So you see, it looks the same. Nothing really changed on it. You can't really tell. It's just like those pixelated billboards when you go up to them and like you look at it from really close, they have huge pixels. But from far away, you can't notice that because you're only seeing how every pixel goes into your mind as something that's fully into your vision. I want to go into the logo now. I know. Let's go into the logo. And we can do the same thing, but I want to try something different. So here we're going to go on hover, right? We can go in and remove these. And we can add the class if we want it easy, but we don't want to add the class. Right now, we don't want to move anything like that. Start animation, and we're going to go in. The on hover is going to go here. We're going to go image, demo image. On, just to make it quick. And we're going to go and click on plus, and we can actually make it disappear and reappear. If we want to, we can move it, scale it, rotate it. So let's go with rotate. So now we have the rotation here. Expo. And we can make it turn around. Yeah, the X doesn't look too good. It's probably the Y. The Y is going to be the side. Oh, that just looks so cool. Look at that. Looks so awesome. So that's what we want. We want it to go the completely other side, or that side, so that it can go a controlled. So the initial is going to be this one. This one's going to be the other one. I actually want it to go a little slow from 24, duration 5. We duplicate this one. Command, oh sorry. We want to add another rotate and put it on the expo -9. -9. So now when you go, it's gonna go out. It's gonna tilt a little bit. Of course, you know, you can always add more stuff. And here we go. We're gonna add an end to the rotate. And we're gonna add it all the way to 0 again. So it can go back to normal. And this, we want it to go into a longer duration. Let's go with 9.9 seconds. 0.9 for this one. 0.9. Not even using both hands. What am I doing? So this is just an example of how it's going to go. You can make it do like some interactions like that where you can make it go this side, that side. You can do just, that's what this is for. So yeah. And there we have it. We have a responsive header, a responsive header. And when you go into tablet, we see that there's an icon here. The icon, all we have to do is set it to the side. We just margin that out, and there we have our icon. Go to this one. Now we readjust this one, and we make that 220. There we go. That one's a little bit too far, so this one we're going to change to 100 or 60 or 40. There you go. And then this one we can just move it on itself. But yeah, that's basically the run through of how to do your first transparent header for your website. Thanks for sticking around through the entire video, and I pray that this was a barakah to you, a blessing to you, so that you can use it for your business and you use those, you know, invisible headers for anything that you desire. That's good, of course. And if someone else needs it, be sure to share this video with them. Other than that, peace.